I'm just gonna, I think a few of you weren't here last week. So hi, hopefully we should have more people coming. Alberto said that he just had something happen, so he can't come, but yeah, hopefully we should have some other folks. I'm just gonna get the document from last week for those of you that were not here. And get it. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to chat it to y'all. I see that in the chat. I'm just going to change this to just be like not a certain date. And then we could just take minutes kind of below. So I'll just create another thing below. And then this is the 29th now. Okay. Da-da. So yeah, those of you that weren't here last week, we've got this Google Doc that we were working from and just taking notes from and sharing ideas. So you can check that out. And we also have a contact sheet. And I'm just going to make another tab on it and put the date. Yeah. Well, it looks like a big block of URLs right now. But yeah, the second one is going to be the group sheet. So I'm just going to put the date and so let's just have everyone fill in their info on the second tab on the contact sheet. And I will need to copy over stuff. There we go. Okay. Cool. Okay. So hopefully you guys are in these docs. It'd be great if you could just take a few minutes to just put in your name and info, and then there's a couple of questions like, what do you need support with right now? What can you help with right now? And what are you selling right now? And if you fill this stuff in, over the next couple of minutes, then we can just kind of address different things that, people want to know, or just resources to share, stuff like that. So yeah, I'm gonna give you guys a second to do that. Yeah.
Like I wrote in the document, this week I have had plenty of different classes. I've had grown-ups at university, music production classes, and I have music production with the younger ones, as young as 8 and 9 years old, the youngest ones. And I had individual classes, and I have two things that I wouldn't say struggle, but that's occupying my mind, and that's I would love to have input on ideas how to move a class that was planned to be in a classroom, and the way you teach in a classroom, and move it online without having to replan the whole thing. Like if I plan out a online course, I would lay it out like flipped classroom. I would have videos with me explaining stuff and so forth, and then I would use my time to give feedback by texting and writing to them and chatting with them. And that's not the way that I usually do the classroom thing. And my plan is to keep my students, keep them having the feeling that they are going to school in the same way. They just, go to the laptop instead, and everything's perfectly normal. Nothing has happened here, and we just keep moving forward. And it's a bit tricky. One thing that I especially thought about at once is that getting a discussion going in a class is really tough, I think. When you're in a group situation in a classroom or in the studio at our school, I can just throw out a question, and the debates are starting, and they're chatting and talking. But online, that's really not the case in the same way. They wait for each other, and I use that a lot. I don't tell them how things are. I want them to, most of the time, I want them to discuss stuff and get to the point themselves. I feel they learn more like, I don't know if you understand my problem here or my ideas. The second thing, and I don't know if you have any good ideas here, that's that I have a couple of instrument pupils or students. I have had plenty more in my life, but at the moment I have one regular piano student and one who's taking the same class, the instrument class, but his instrument is the computer, so to speak. So ideas on how to, play together online. I would love it if there wasn't like a quarter note latency. I don't know how to solve this all the way through, but that's things I'm thinking about at the moment and struggling with, so to speak.
They can still play online. It will just not be in the same time. They can still do something. You can just let them, for example, if you have, I don't know, if you have like 5 people, you can divide a track into 5 people. You can say one will work on the kick, and he will share a screen, and everyone will look at him making a kick. And then when he's finished, he will just upload it to something like Splice, where you can see all the content of the project, and then it will sync, and everyone will be synced to the same project. This will be a nice idea.
Yeah.
And then he will work on the kick. He's finishing and he's saving, and then it's uploading, and the next one will make a baseline, and everyone is going to look at the baseline, and you're going to give him inputs how to make the baseline better. And so I think this can really work. So this track will be like a ping pong, that one is throwing to the other, and everyone is making just one instrument, for example, and you can make the mix and let them check the mix, for example. That's how you do it. Then you finish. This is how actually I work with people online when I create music. I'm just starting something, giving them, they do it, and then they give it to me back.
Yeah.
And if you have 5 people, I think it's even better, because then you can have more stations.
You're giving me great ideas to pitch to colleagues of mine that's supposed to have ensemble and stuff online, which is not doable in the. But what if they would have the regular instruments, so to speak, but recording to the same, like they could use some online DAW, use like Soundtrap or BandLab, and just not play at the same time, but play. Maybe that's a solution for them.
They can still do the same. The only thing the only problem that we have online, that we don't have sync.
Yeah.
We don't have a link. We cannot make link, because everyone will be in another time zone with the link. So it will always be a little bit before and after. But don't think about syncing. That's the only thing. That's the only thing you don't have. You have them. They can still hear you, and
it's
time.
it was so, like this Thursday I had this piano student, and I mean, it's no problem. I'm here and he's at his place, and I can tell him like, you use your middle finger on the E, because then you will, and he can play it back and all the stuff. But if he plays the left hand of this piece that he's working on, I'm so eager, I just want to play the melody on top of his, like I do in the regular situation. But that's, I would like destroy him if he got that, you know, a second later. So there's a lot of things I have to like think about when you're used to doing stuff in a certain way. But all input are appreciated over here, I can tell you that. One thing I had some technical stuff with Zoom, where at one point, or with two occasions actually, I couldn't get audio to stream both ways. Can't you set up Zoom so both me and the student can share our computer audio at the same time in Zoom?
You can, of course you can. You just need to set the input output of the sound card that you both having. That's all.
Because Zoom complained that he couldn't share his computer audio because I was already sharing stuff. So Zoom told him no.
There is some point of it's waiting for you to finish what you're saying, and then the other one is there is a problem with the sync, I think. But I don't use Zoom to do stuff like that.
Okay.
There is the audio movers that we showed last time.
Yeah.
If you will look at the group, and this is a lot better.
Yeah, but so this was a problem that audio movers would solve it. Also working for my studio computer would also work it out, because there I use input 3 and 4 as mic in Zoom, and then I take my headphone out and stream it back in, so everything I hear, they hear, you know. But
what interface?
The only problem, the only problem I have with this is that I always forget to because I always do solos and work on stuff, and then I forget my mic on the solo, and I just talk and talk and talk, and it's like silence, and it's like, sorry, I can't really hear you, and I'm like 10 minutes into talking, and then I see that my solo is already.
I only done that once so far, so
I'm not sure if there is something like, you know, like a ARM exclusive function. So I don't think if we have it on solo, you know, in Ableton, you can have the ARM button, have it on non-exclusive, and then you can press many
of course,
many of them. But, so I'm not sure if we have it for solo. I don't think.
No, but nice. That would be, but minor issue. But
using, I'm just curious.
Sorry.
What interface are you using?
Me or
him?
Me. The new Presonus with DC coupled Studio 68C.
Okay, and what are you using, Roy?
I'm using UR22 MK2 from Steinberg, €100 and 10.
Okay.
Because it's the only one who has loopback, which is quite great. It's the only one.
Right.
That has it built in.
Enrico just said in the chat, talked about loopback, which I also use. I have it up, and I've never had an issue with doing both ways. So I don't know if it's like a routing thing, because I know that some interfaces, you know, just don't have as complex routing capabilities. So maybe that's it. Maybe you need to get into loopback. Are you using loopback at all?
Me? Yeah. No, I haven't done that. But
I mean, I love loopback. I mean, I think, and maybe Federico will say more about it, but I'm definitely using that a lot now for bringing in multiple sources and, you know, streaming all of that. That might be the move for you, unless it's just that you can't hear their stuff.
In these situations, it was that they couldn't start sharing their audio because I was sharing my audio. So then Zoom said, no, you can't. You have to tell David to stop sharing his audio before I will do anything, you know.
I think that's normal. Yeah.
Okay.
I think only one person can share at a time unless I'm.
That's a bit of a shame, isn't it?
Yeah.
If,
Hi,
you know.
hi everybody.
Hi.
Can you listen to me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. As I said in the chat, I'm using Loopback, and I think it's great. I never use it with Zoom, but I'm using it with Google Meet and Microsoft Teams, so I can easily route any input by my side, as well as inputs from Zoom or like Google Meet. So I can route my audio as well as my students' audio. So I think Loopback now is the best app for doing like this kind of stuff right now, because I tested a lot of things, Soundflower, Black Hole, but I think Loopback now is the best choice.
Is it better than the black hole? I didn't try the black hole. I have it.
Yeah, because on Loopback you can. Well, the issue I had with Black Hole was that Black Hole is like a multi-output device, while Loopback allows you to route inputs and monitoring as well as other outputs. So I think I actually I couldn't like make a Black Hole working at all as I needed, while with Loopback it takes me like 2 minutes. So I think Loopback is better, although it's not cheap, but it's a very good piece of software right now.
But it's a Loopback software, because I have it like built in my sound card.
Yeah, it's a piece of software by Rogue Amoeba, and it costs like
Could you link it maybe?
Yeah, link it. Yeah, link it in the chat.
Cool, man. Thanks.
Anyone has
my problem is that I just want to make them lower volume, because sometimes I hear them and I hear a lot of.
Yeah, with Loopback you can control like anything, literally, because it's like it's some kind of virtual mixing interface. So you can add virtual output, virtual inputs. You can route everything. Also, when you install it, I don't know how to say, but it creates like a virtual sound card, so you can route any audio on your computer to that sound card. So it's really great, really. I'm like I'm not taking any money from Rogo Amoeba, but I'm like telling everyone to use Loopback because it's great, really.
Well, we should talk with him. The certified trainers.
Yeah, it would be great. So it would be great.
He will, because
I posted the link in the chat, so you can.
Thank you very much. Thanks. I will check it.
Yeah.
I thought free download was a beautiful button, so I used it to try it out. But has anyone got any equivalent for Windows?
Hijack.
Yeah, well, for Windows.
Audio hijack.
Yeah, for Windows, a colleague of mine asked me. Unfortunately, I haven't Windows, so I haven't tried it. But there's an app called. Wait a minute, because I have to find it. VB Audio Virtual Cable, something like that. I will post the link here as well.
I've heard it.
I haven't tested it because I don't have Windows.
Yeah, I also use Loopback, and I agree it's definitely worth the money, like hands down, versus like Soundflower or Black Hole.
Cool.
It's a professional application. I mean, those are kind of still built on, especially Soundflower now is just built on, code that was from 10 years ago. So kind of doesn't always work the best, but Rogue Amoeba has been around for a while, and Audio Hijack is basically like, what a lot of people use Soundflower for recording like YouTube stuff or like, from one application to another. So I use that also. But yeah, highly recommend Loopback as well. It's just like a game changer for all this online stuff because the routing, it's similar to like creating an aggregate device in audio MIDI setup, you know, but that just right? Because if you like boot up your interfaces in not the right order, and it kind of gets weird. Whereas Loopback is just like super easy and elegant to use. So
yeah, and you can also create presets. So
yeah,
if you have multiple things to do, you can create presets and just enable it and disable it easily. So
can you put a gate on the sender? Like
no, I think you have to use audio hijack for that, probably, because on Loopback you cannot put any effect on the sources.
yeah, no.
cool. Because a gate will be
Also,
nice.
you can't control the volume for each application, because you had mentioned earlier that you wanted to control the volume.
Yeah,
It doesn't
you
have
can't.
any.
You can,
Really?
yes. There's a drop down behind below the sources. So you just there's an arrow. So you click the arrow and it just like give you all the like a slider with the volume.
Would you want to
Oh, really?
share your screen and show your Loop?
Please share.
Yeah, that'd be.
Yeah, wait a minute because
Yeah.
I disable. Just wait a minute. Share screen. You should see.
Yep, we do.
Oh, it looks nice.
Oh,
It
yeah.
looks really nice.
Yeah. So basically,
Right.
this is a super easy setup. So the input sources are like my internal microphone, iTunes, and Microsoft Teams. Channel 1 and 2 for the output channels are what the students get from my streaming. So as you can see, I route internal microphone and iTunes. Channel 3 and 4 are what I listen to. So I don't put my internal microphone to that. And I link channel 3 and 4 to the headphones. Super easy. And then you have here the slider with the volume.
Okay.
And this is the pass-through devices.
What is a pass-through exactly?
The pass-through is like a virtual audio device, so you can route any literally any audio in your computer. For example, you can, if you set up Loopback as audio output from Ableton, it will get on this device. So this is just a virtual audio sound card, and so you can like I don't use it, but it's here. So for example, if you want to put a gate on the receiver, probably with audio hijack, you just put the I will assume, I'm assuming that because I haven't tested it, but you can take the audio from an app, put it through an effect, and then go to the pass-through device, and so you will have here probably. I never tested it, but yeah, probably.
And may I ask you, are you using the output of your Ableton through Loopback? Is that when you do online stuff? Is that what you do?
Yeah, wait a minute. I will just share the whole screen.
I guess if Ableton is on, you're gonna see.
Yeah,
it as a
yes,
source.
basically, yes, basically is that. So if you should see on my screen now. So basically, when I start up Ableton, and then you can add it here. So you see it's like Ableton as a running application. So I actually I don't need to change the preferences in Ableton. So as soon as I put Ableton here, and I got Ableton, I don't know why it's not starting, it's still scanning some. So here is the output from Ableton. So now I can just route it here, so I can hear as well.
Multiple outputs.
And and it's done. And it's done.
That's excellent, because I've used it where I've gone output into Loopback from Ableton, and I've had problems with that in the past. So this is a great option to know.
Yeah, well, as I say, I never use it loopback before, but I'm using it like it's 2 weeks now, and I had no problems at all.
Cool.
This is gonna save me so much time and pain.
Yeah.
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 And which audio device do you choose in the preferences of Ableton? No, but
Excellent.
but then he will come from both, no? Then he will come. I mean, if it's the source and you have there in the preferences, but live won't come in from two places.
Well,
Into
I think that what you're saying is Universal Audio Apollos come with a software interface called Console, which is actually a virtual console that sits before Ableton.
Ah, okay. I see.
It's a mystery.
As I said, I think that the best way to use the pass-through is when you are also using audio hijack to add effects or other things. So from audio hijack, you set the output to the pass-through device in loopback, and so you in loopback have the audio coming from that. Probably that's the best way to use it, the pass-through interface. No, that was something that I was thinking. I never tried it. Yeah, try that.
All the wonderful things that are happening via quarantine time.
Yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure.
Now, you mentioned OBS. I'm sorry, did I interrupt you?
Yeah, for sure. Get it on.
Well, I have a question, thank you, regarding OBS and not audio necessarily, but video. Is it possible to have the video output go into Zoom or any other, live? I'm trying to do a live performance where I'm using OBS as the main interface for my video and audio. Does anyone have any experience with that? Please, please. Okay. I'm on the phone, so I can't really look at the document right now. My computer, yeah, my internet is down. That's why I was late. I apologize about that. They cut my internet cord out there. Long story, but anyways, yeah. Bullshit. Yeah. So I've got all my scenes set up in OBS, and you know, it's just restream. I've never even heard of that. Oh, that would be pretty ideal. Jesus. You've really gone down this road. Yeah, I guess so. Okay.
Yeah. Also, do you need to stream to multiple platform? Is that what you're asking?
You're asking me, or yeah?
Yeah.
I was looking to stream to one platform. However, my mind has officially been, and I'm like, oh wow, I can do multiple platforms at once.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of excited by that idea.
Yeah. Well, there's a Restream, or I think there are some hardware boxes. So you connect the HDMI to that, and those boxes will stream to multiple platforms.
Oh, interesting.
If you wait just a minute, I can show you somewhere.
Okay. And is this all going to be available when I'm done? Because I can't look at it right now. So when we're done, okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm
Okay. Yeah.
I'm putting some links in the chat for hardware devices that do multiple streaming.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Thank you for that. Any information? I wish I could look at it now. Oh wow.
Yeah, basically for me, I haven't done any live stream, video live stream. But for example, I have just my laptop, so like having Ableton and OBS as well, doing the streaming I will think that my laptop somehow will crash. So I'm also looking to hardware devices. So the thing that I'm posting in the chat accept like HDMI, and they just do the streaming. So your laptop won't have to process the audio and the video, just doing the streaming. And
How does
also
that work?
this works out for multiple platforms, so you can stream on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, and other platforms.
I see. So an HDMI output out of your computer into this device, it will just take whatever monitor feed you're feeding it. It will see it as a display. Is that the way it goes?
Basically. Yes, basically, yes.
Cool.
Yeah, I think
Nice.
it really depends on how you want to make it easy and how much you want to complicate your life. For example, if you want multiple HDMI input, I tried the Blackmagic Atom Mini, and it's great. It's a great piece of hardware and quite cheap, because it's like in Europe it's 250 euros. But it has 4 HDMI input, and you can connect it to your computer with USB-C, and it works great. And it's a small video mixer, works great.
That's cool. That's like the new version of that black box that you got, Laura, the Blackmagic that we both have, Ultra Studio Mini. And it just has one HDMI. So this new one for $200 it was just released, really.
It was released. It was released a couple of months ago, and luckily I had an event in December, and I was lucky to find one device in Italy, and they shipped it to me because it was the first device in Italy, and so. Yeah, I was lucky to test it, and it works great, really.
We lost him. Yeah, I think he will come back eventually. The internet. Oh, he's here. He's here again. Hey, Antonio. Yeah, we lost you for a second.
So it's toilet paper and Atom Minis.
Yeah, all video devices for streaming are selling out right now. Are all sold out. I got Logitech webcam on Black Friday, and I bought it for like 25 euros. Now my colleague want to buy one for him, and now it costs 180, the same model.
Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna have to hit up Ruben too. Yeah, that's a cool device. Right, then there's that. Then it takes away the cost effectiveness of it. Because I have no internet. Right, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. Thank you. I'll look into all this stuff.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, thanks.
Isn't that the best? Isn't that the coolest thing ever to discover? I love it so much. So cool. It's just a plugin. It's a plugin that you put on your master, and you have two actually. You have a receiver, and you can stream, and you can receive audio in like 0.1 millisecond. And all outdoors guys, the guys who made it are all Waves worker. They do it. It's like a sidekick, or they're all from Waves, like Russian engineers, totally sophisticated. And
Really? What's this called?
Yeah. It's called Listen To, and the company is Audio Movers.
Okay, Audio Movers.
Laura,
I've
I
heard
think, has
about
it
this.
in the document.
Yeah. Okay, I want to check this out.
There's a thing that we should have heard from Dennis. I thought he's going to come to the chat, Dennis. I don't know. Timing, Dennis, timing. And there is something.
Wait,
with
Dennis A or Dennis B? There are two Dennises, aren't there? Fisher, okay.
Fisher, yeah, F. So there is a thing, and I don't know if any one of you use Sonarworks stuff. Do you use it? Sonarworks.
Are they supposed to send us a microphone or something?
Should have, yeah. They have some difficulties with licenses and sending and receiving, but you should all have the plugin to calibrate the sound from your master, just to have your really.
Oh.
Yeah, it does that. But the thing is, they're giving now our students, like if you're a teacher, and they're giving the students, they're giving like for as many licenses as you need until July, which is brilliant. It's for free, only for students. And we should have heard it from Dennis, because they actually, I already work with them for quite a while, so I know them. And then I asked them about the CTs, and they said that they don't know. They should talk to Dennis, and it takes a time until he answered them in the email if they should wait for him. So it's something that he would tell us eventually. But you can get ready for that. And I think time is really important, because it starts now and it's until July, because it's like a corona thing. So as much time as it will take, then they will extend it, I think. So every student will get a free headphone version of the Sonarworks for free. And you can say how many you have. Like if you have, I have like 15 that they gave me, and you can have even more if you want. And you just need to tell them.
Now, I'm sorry. Just to be clear, Sonarworks is this software that you put in the master bus that allows you to mix with your headphones, as opposed to the other software which we were discussing earlier, which allows you to stream from your master bus.
Yeah, this thing is more to cancel the influence of your headphones on your ears, because you have some headphones which have a lot of bass, and you're working maybe with ones that are very, very thin, and it like make it really, it makes everything like flat. If you don't have influence from your room, maybe if your room is not well acoustic proper, so you have a lot of bass and so on. So it's basically an EQ on your master, and it reads your room or your headphones. And and there is a list of as many of their on the market. And if you don't have yours in that list, you can send them your headphones, and they will fit it to the model.
Wow.
Yeah, they're really
No,
like, and they're the only ones. Sorry.
I've been using Waves NX for that. Is that similar to that? You know, are you familiar with that?
It's a bit different. It's a bit different. I think I talked with them about it.
Waves.
It's a bit different.
Okay.
NX.
This one tracks your head movements and everything.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sounds interesting. Mm-hmm. It's quite cool, eh? I'm not mixing without it, really. In my room, it's a bit funny because it's like the room, and you get all the acoustic that you already know, and then it's like, you know, and you have the option to boost the bass or stuff. Yeah, like, but I use it all the time. It's all the time on my master. It's all the time on, and since I gave it to all my students, it really changed their mixes too, because it's like canceling everything that you like. That your headphones is adding, and then you can mix like in faster, and it sounds really close to the way that you hear it in your headphones afterwards. Sounds. You need the microphone if you want to calibrate your room, but for the headphones you don't need it because it's just the headphones. So you just go to the software and just choose your headphones.
Cool. Same here. That's why I've been waiting on that.
It's weird that they didn't really explain it to us. I mean, not the Sonarworks, because you could go to the website, but then I mean, it's quite a weird, and it's also a very new thing. I mean, they showed it in Superboost 2018, I think, and I saw them. They were really, really far away, and I thought it's just a gimmick. Then I came and then I talked with them a little bit. Then I said, okay, we're gonna stay in touch. And now I see they're all over the market. And yeah, and they're quite
the
nice
thing that
people.
makes me a bit suspicious about Sonarworks with headphones is that each headphone, each speaker has a different response.
Membrane.
So like if you have a really, really fancy headphones, maybe you can expect something that's more linear, and you can expect that the curve that Sonarworks send you is going to reflect what you have. But I don't know. I have like Audio Technica M40s.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure they're like, each one you get in the same bundle, they're gonna sound different, and each ear is gonna have like a different compensation. So I tried using it first. I like it. I like how it sounds. When I turn it on, I say, wow, I prefer how it sounds. So it was interesting. But I got really suspicious. Can I really trust this? Because it's gonna have a different effect in each headphone that I use. But I'm really looking forward to getting the microphone, because I think like measuring your speakers in your room might really give you some benefits. I
think your best test will be that you will mix with it, and then you hear your mix in your car or at home, and it will sound close to what you heard in your room. You know, that it will sound very, very close to it. Because the problem when mixing nice headphones or with a really, really nice, I don't know, Genelec, that it colored the sound a little bit.
Yeah, right? It's flattering.
It's really, really expensive. It's like flattering, and your mix is not even close to it when you hear it in like shitty boxes, because you get a lot of stuff which adds to the thing that you're using. So your best test will be just mix with it and then hear it. Just, you know, see how close it's to it. Because now I can, for me, the difference was that I can now mix like heavy 808 super bassy stuff, and it sounds really one-on-one.
Sounds like there,
yeah, really heavy thing like you can hear for hours and hours and hours. Normally, I had really, really problems with that because it's like talking about heavy things, which it was really, really close to the original, and sounds great.
But yeah, I also had this
you should have just said that to.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. I was going to make a stupid joke and said You should have just
Hit
said
it on,
that
hit it
from
on.
the beginning. 808s, I'm sold.
True. I also had this thing about it trying to take over my computer, like being the main sound source for the Mac OS, and that's a little disturbing. But of course, you can disable that if you want.
Yeah.
At times when that has happened to me, that's because I'm in the chat and I'm pushing a lot of spaces in the chat. That's when it's happened for me plenty of times.
Now you're muted.
Or press
I'm
in somewhere
I'm
in
trying
the chat.
I'm trying yeah, I'm trying it now. I didn't know it worked like that. So for me it's working.
Always
Because you
for
were
the
in the chat, yeah.
Because
Yeah, you can have the chat
Well-
open, but I think you have to press somewhere in the chats, so to speak. I can't press somewhere else. I have to like tell the chat that I'm no longer writing anything, or I don't know. But I'm
right, well, it's a space bar
it's
for
just
for
stupid.
you know, for writing. So no.
I can I could just um, I I just realized that my card has a loop back functionality, but I had
What do
never
you
used
know?
it because
What do you know?
what do you know? But and I didn't realize I haven't had it for very long, like 2 months or so. I bought it to finally be able to use the DC what's oh, tell me the name of the pack, the max pack for modular stuff. The you know
Oh, yeah.
the
Um,
the I just lost what it's called,
you,
but
you
it
you
has a
bought a
loop back
DC
function.
coupled.
VCV rack. VCV rack.
No, 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 no. The
No,
Ableton
no.
Max.
The
What's it called?
Max for
Ableton
cats. Max for cats.
CV
Pallas.
CV, the CV tools.
CD
CV
tools,
tools.
CD tools.
It's well, it's evening time in Sweden. Well, you know, but it has a loopback function. Just so you know, I will try it out.
Which
See, but it's not the
interface?
same like they have. It's not the same thing.
No,
It's very
not the
very
same.
it's
But
different. It
I have to
it's
check
just a
what
function.
I can do with this. I just found out.
Do you have the Steinberg one as well? Which interface is that, David?
The Presonus Studio 68C.
Ah, okay, okay.
I'm using the Steinberg one. So what it will do, it will just ignore when you just when you're connected with your mic and you're talking while doing stuff in Ableton, it will just reroute the mic into the chat without the influence of what you're doing with Ableton. So you can hear both while your mic is on. So you don't need to have an extra channel open and then press there. But it's not working with the audio movers because the audio movers is on your master.
Yeah.
And it's very different. It will work when you're chatting, like if you want to have both of them at the same time. Yeah. I'm not using Zoom so much. I'm not too hot on it because I noticed that it's taken a lot of resources from my computer and the machine is not that strong. I'm going to buy a new one now, but it's not that strong. So I just noticed that it's really 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 intensive, especially when working with Ableton. I saw that it's like skyrocketing into 50% or 60 when it's on, and it's like jumping.
You said Zoom is Zoom eating your CPU?
Yeah, drinking.
Okay, because my experience is that Zoom is really light on the computer, but
really?
maybe I'm on some sort of spaceship here and I don't know it. But I think
which computer is that you're using?
well, on both. On the MacBook, it's totally fine. On my MacBook Air, it's totally fine.
Yeah.
And then this PC is what are they called? Xeon 3.6 quad core or something, you know.
How much RAM? How much RAM do you have? I think it's my RAM.
16.
Maybe. Yeah, I have 8, man. Yeah. I have 8. So I'm using like the Google Hangouts, and it's the lightest, and it sounds good. Like I did like a research 2 years ago about sounds where it sounds the best, and Google was the best sounding, very light, and they don't need like to download anything. They can just log in, and I think Zoom was new that time.
Whoa,
that was
slapback
nice.
delay.
How did you do that? How did you do that, Laura? That was a cool thing. It sounds like a loopback.
Or sounds like you're gonna sing some rockabilly or something like that.
Yeah, it did sound like a spring reverb a little bit.
Yeah, it did.
Are we still here or just waiting for Laura?
No sounds. No sound from Laura.
She cannot get rid of this co-host that she has there. It's a nice co-host, Laura. You should record it. I cannot hear you now. No. Maybe now. I will still have it. Now it's a reverb.
Did you change something in your settings while you were sitting there?
Wait, I'm gonna come a second.
Hilarious.
You sound like dodgy sci-fi movies from the 50s or something.
Yeah. Well, I haven't had any experience with Zoom being a hog, a CPU hog at all. I haven't used it that much anyways, but anyone else experienced any problems with Zoom?
Say your name and your RAM.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, my RAM. Yeah, I think I have a lot of RAM. I don't remember, but it's not 8. I know that. Yeah.
It's a tough
Do you
thing
generally
here.
have troubles with? How do you run Ableton with 8?
Well, I do. it sounds really low, but actually it's enough for them. Most of the thing because it's like a 13-inch. It was my first Mac, so I just bought the one that I found it. Now I'm gonna buy the big one that they released, and I'm gonna have 64 RAM.
Holy crap!
64, man, 64, and from 0 to 0.
From 0 to hero.
It's also nice. It's a room reverb now, which is also cool. It's a close one. The 16 and it's good. Yeah. Okay.
Hmm. Holy
Wow.
shit.
It's a monster. I'm telling you guys, it's a monster. It's a monster. Doesn't worth it.
Holy
It doesn't worth it.
crap. Oh.
Mm. And you have an i9 or what? What's your processor? i9. Huh. Exactly what I want to buy now.
Yeah. And still, I can't believe that. I mean, I remember this, you were going through this quandary whether to buy that or not. And you did. And mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Storage though, really sweet.
That's
Yeah, of course.
crazy.
Whether or not the processor is worth it, I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm still like I'm experimenting with using a second computer for all of my video stuff, right? And so that's kind of what Ruben and I were talking about last week on the call, and he and I did a session this week, and he helped me sort that out. So
Why don't you do your movies and rendering and all of this in
I just mean like
Studio?
live streaming. So like if I want to have, because like for instance, I do a lot of live performance stuff. My Ableton session is pretty intensive, right? And so if I want to live stream and do Zoom and video all while running that session, then I need to increase my buffer size. But then I can't really do that because if I'm live looping, it will drive me insane. And so
Mhm.
that's why I set up the second laptop, and I'm using the Cam Link, the Elgato Cam Link, to send, the video and audio there. So I've got that working, and that's actually working well. But Zoom, I mean, I guess I could. I figured out actually how to do it and send everything to the second laptop and do Zoom there. But then there's like a latency when you're speaking to people, like slight, but I've got like both computers, like the audio coming out into my mixer. So if I want to like listen to the second computer audio, then I could just turn that up. But in terms of like if you want to interact with people in real time, that's when if you're just streaming, then it's totally cool. But if you want to interact with people in real time, it's not
That's
really
a problem, yeah. That's a problem.
and it's just complicated, it's just so but I mean it does work that way, and that's why I'm using loopback to send it, from the first computer to the cam link, which takes the audio and video into the second computer, and then that is just like broadcasting out to the world essentially.
And what was the problem with the cam link to begin with? Remember, it didn't have all the colors or something. It was really weird looking.
There's like some setting in the display preferences, like called, let me find it for you. Da, True Tone. You want to turn off True Tone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So because it was like kind of yellowish or whatever. That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it was. And also I found out from different people that the Black Magic box, I ended up returning mine.
Oh, good for you. At least you got to do that. That's good.
Because from what I've heard, like, and Ruben has done a ton of this work as well. Like, he had 2 die on him. So just fair warning, if you're using the Black Magic, apparently the Cam Link is more reliable.
What the?
People have said that the Black Magic, not the Atomini, but the Ultra Studio, has died on them.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah. So, I mean, use it until it dies on you, because, you know, obviously it's not cheap, you know.
I've had it for like 4 years.
I mean, yeah, if you never had a problem, then that's cool, you know. So,
yeah. Also, there are also other very expensive cards, like the Magewell. I think the Black Magic is good, but it's cheap, so it tends to break, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, it's still like, I guess it's like prosumer, you know. But yeah. Yeah.
Makes sense.
So, and then Pedro, that document that you linked to, I literally just pulled that up on my screen from the Facebook group. But I mean, this document is just like so in depth about the Zoom sound. I love it. I haven't read the whole thing yet, but it's great.
Yeah, I think it's really great. He got really technical, made a real measurement and testing, and you know, that's great. That's what I was hearing. It bothers me so much, the sound quality in Zoom, and I didn't know there was this option, original sound on. So yeah, I'm thinking about maybe doing one of those tests with audio movers. Listen to, it would be to compare it, give it like a really clear comparison from Listen to Zoom, and yeah, huh?
I was gonna say, maybe you could record the differences and compare. Yeah, unless that's what he did in this document, and I haven't read it yet.
He just gone over Zoom and using audio Soundflower. Yeah, so I'm probably gonna look for that up later.
Yeah.
And yeah, my experience with Listen to audio movers has been pretty good as well. So thumbs up for that.
Yeah. That's cool. Okay. So Frederica, you had said something about in the document playing remotely with other people without latency issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did this like interview for the MIDI Association last year, and they were working on some sort of real-time collaboration project, which I don't think is out yet. But is there anything out there? I feel like there's not, right?
I haven't found anything, and with the school I teach we have this problem because we had all our students at home and they need to play together.
Yeah.
And we cannot find literally any doable solution, because for like any software like Zoom or Google Meet or other, you got a lot of latency, so it's impossible to play together remotely.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are wondering that right now. I mean, the person that figures that out, or company or whatever, is gonna like be stoked. Like,
yeah, I think a colleague of mine did some tests with the Audio Movers plugin, but I think it's not doable if you have many persons. Like if you need to record one person, you can do it. But if you have like a band with 10 people, it's impossible.
Yeah.
So I think it's a colleague of mine did some test with the Audio Movers plugin, but I think it's not doable if you have many persons. Like if you need to record one person, you can do it. But if you have like a band with 10 people, it's impossible. 4 people, it's impossible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I guess also you have many bands, many bandwidth, many different bandwidth of internet. So maybe if you have if you start a jam on a nice bandwidth and it hits on, you know, say if someone came up with the idea, and then you start playing, say Laura start playing, and it gets to me where my bandwidth is narrow, then I guess that would cause latency to everyone or something. That could,
does that become a bottleneck then?
yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, although like every platform I tested, the audio is always mono. For example, Google Meet, the audio is mono. Microsoft Teams, the audio is mono. So I'm thinking, why do we need like HD video and mono audio? I want stereo audio without latency. I don't need HDMI HD video. Give me some audio without latency.
I just realized last week that Zoom can do stereo audio. I hadn't realized that, but you had to turn it on in some setting on the you had to dig a bit. But I was wondering, the audio movers thing, that does it lower the latency anything, or is it
yes, of course.
So, yeah, but I mean, how low can you go?
0.1.
Yeah, but to the receiver on the other end of the interwebs to play together, I mean, how?
It's not immediate. It's not like
it's never immediate.
He's in a room with you, you know.
Yeah, but I should try that out. Just think, because I mean, doing Zoom like this, Zoom itself will have some latency thingies going on, both in and out. And I thought if audio movers would remove like 50 milliseconds of those or something, I don't know.
I know. Everyone should just make ambient projects.
Yes, I can tell you, last Saturday I actually rehearsed over the internet with a friend of mine. I did, but that's I make ambient soundscape, and he's a poet, so that worked out just fine. So he just reads. He doesn't have to be in time. That's awesome. So we could rehearse.
Yeah, there you go. You can do meditation stuff, and you can do whatever you want with
spoken word music is the new thing, right? It's the Corona music.
Spoken word music.
Yeah, that's what we do. So
spoken word music, that's a new concept.
That's the only thing doable right now.
That's hilarious.
Right.
I actually have a question about Splice, because when you guys were talking about it earlier, like, I actually have never really used it. I mean, I've gotten some sounds from it, but like when you're saying you're collaborating with someone, you just save the project into Splice, and then whoever on the other end can just like use it, even if you don't have the same plugins and all that kind of stuff. So you guys are using that for your classes? Is that how
I use it for my students, like when I do one-on-one sessions, then they do it at home and they finish it, and then I can download it, and I have it in my laptop, so then I can show them stuff that I do with it. So that's like a good thing that you can have it. It's like a Dropbox thing, you know, that it syncs. In every save it syncs, and then you get the same information that the other side has. There is something from Steinberg, which used to be only for Cubase, and now it's open for everyone. And it's called like a cloud. I don't remember the name. Cloud something for it. I need to check the exact name for your documents, Laura.
I use Splice. I use Splice like every day with all my projects, because right now they're offering unlimited storage. So like I can literally
unlimited, really? Wow.
I mean, they're not stating how much you have. So I suppose for now it's unlimited. Someday they'll probably put a limit on that. But right now it is. And so I don't see any reason not to use it. Like you just save your session and you have a safe backup of it. So, but with plugins, if you have different plugins, yeah, it's not going to work. The person's going to miss that plugin. Or you can add stems for those groups and stuff. I didn't really use that, but it's beautiful for collaboration, because I just save my stuff. I know my friend has the same plugins, and he just says, okay, sync from Splice, and bam, in a second he has the session updated.
Cool.
I think it works quite nice to, well, at least show students by taking over their laptop using Zoom. Just let them stream their audio to me, and I see their screen, and I go in and do stuff. I've tried to encourage the students to try to collaborate in the same way, just using Zoom. But then, of course, you would have to have good audio once again on the receiver end to know what you're doing. I was trying the other day to give feedback to a student on some music production, and well, your kick sounds kind of muffly, and then I realized, okay, I'm not
Zoom,
hearing, I'm not hearing
Zoom.
what she's hearing right now. So, but in just overall, I think it works to just, show me your screen, and I request remote control and go into their project and not bother with any third party, moving.
Yeah, I find that it's more to showcase workflow related teachings rather than sound related. So just workflows is what I can do when I do remote classes, but I haven't done that many, so I'm not the one to ask.
There is an application where you can actually interact on the other person's machine. I've used it. I was teaching my uncle how to use Live, and he gave me the application. Let me just go into the other room and get the name.
I think it's called TeamViewer.
TeamViewer.
TeamViewer,
Yes,
yeah,
it's the one.
TeamViewer, yeah.
That's pretty interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, but you can do that in Zoom though, right?
Can you?
You can
Really?
If you ask your students to share their screen, you can then on options above, like request remote control.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh wow, you can do that in Zoom?
The only thing that is
Very
really hard is like turning dials on remote because of the latency. So you just you gotta be really steady on your finger when you like do things, but it works.
Yeah, you can do it.
That's good.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to share a link here, but I cannot find in the iPad the chat. Just write VST Transit, and that's the cloud thing from Steinberg, and it's like a project in your project. You open like a new window, which is a DAW inside yours, and you both have the same, and it streams the audio from what's in that external DAW. Like we both open, like let's say, we all work on the same window, and we all have a Ableton open, and we just route the audio from this external VST Transit into our project. So then we can like collaborate with each other. It's built in Cubase, and now they open it for everyone else. I don't know how much it costs. I need to check. And they just say buy Cubase.
You can use it with any
DAW, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it's saying it's $11.99 for the 3XL. I don't know what that means, but
and it has video built in. That's cool.
Sorry, what's the name of it again?
VST Transit.
I'll drop a link in the chat.
Like the car. This should be really, really cool, and it's like it was always only for Cubase. That's why I couldn't use it. And then I saw like a post on Facebook like yesterday or something that they open it for everyone.
Cool.
The only problem is it's not real time. Like you cannot like play at the same time. So you can just record and then have it in your session. So then you can tell the guitarist or whatever, hey, just do a line. Then you can just. I think that will be even nicer than splicing.
Well, I have a question for you guys then, because now our revenues have gone quite low. So what would be a nice basic setup giving the software for broadcasting, a camera, and whatever else you would need. And I just found out I don't have a camera on my, not I found out, I remembered that I don't have a camera in my Mac Mini. But I was thinking of, buying a new camera and installing software, and then in that case, making an investment on Zoom or whatever other software do you reckon it would be a good place to invest some cash?
What kind of quality are you looking for?
Mostly recording lessons and doing screen on screen, and doing some live streamings because I also play drums and I teach drums. So I'm also thinking of broadcasting the drums. I'd set up a couple of mics and feed it through my soundboard as well, my sound card, and that'd be a reasonably good quality, not an amazing one, but reasonably good one, especially for recording the lessons. So what would be a basic setup that because I can't be like buying and so many new softwares all the time, so I'm just thinking of a basic one to get the ball rolling until we get back to whatever normality in the end of this.
We were just discussing how unavailable the cameras are now, but the C920 by Logic, cheapest camera that we all. But where are you located?
I'm in Rio, in Brazil.
Well, maybe I don't know. We're in America, and we just can't find one here. So, but the C920.
Sorry, I just missed. What can't we find?
The C920 cameras that they're
C920.
They become very popular right now because everyone is doing streaming.
I have that one. I have it.
Yeah, I'm looking at a C922 here. Is that okay?
Yeah. Also, if you have like an iPhone, you can use Epoch Cam and use your iPhone as an HD camera.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was trying to do that, but it shows the screen as a whole. It doesn't show just what the camera is looking at. It shows the whole thing.
No. With Epoch Cam, it's like you have to install the app on the iPhone and an app on your computer, and then when you connect the phone with the USB cable, you can use it as a webcam.
Ah, cool.
And the pro version of the app is like $10, I think $9.99, something like that. So I think it's the cheapest. If you have an iPhone, it's like the cheapest.
Yeah, just download the app.
Yeah, just download the app and that's it.
Cool, thank you.
But which app? If you connect it to the QuickTime, you can choose your phone as a camera. You don't need an app for that. But QuickTime.
Yes, but that's what I mean. With QuickTime, you have this problem that QuickTime sees everything that your iPhone is seeing. So if someone drops a WhatsApp, comes in the middle of the session.
For example, if you are using OBS or Zoom or the other thing, you can just select that as a webcam. So basically, it turns the iPhone into a webcam.
Camera.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I'll look into it. Thank you.
I'm learning a lot of stuff.
So you're saying that just using your phone and using QuickTime?
Yeah, using a phone as a webcam.
Yeah. Okay. And you can hide your do not disturb on your notifications as well if you have that issue. I also found out about this thing called Switcher Studio, which I just linked in here. It's also in the live streaming document, but it's supposed to be for using your phone for multiple camera angles.
Nice.
Adding up to 9 phones in real time. I don't know if that might be helpful or not.
Yeah, if you have multiple iPhone or iOS devices, yeah, that's great.
Mm-hmm. Are you guys using Stream Deck? Anyone? Antonio, you are, right? You're muted.
Hi. Yeah, I love the Stream Deck. I have so many scenes in Stream Deck. It's fantastic. Highly recommended.
Yeah. Are you using you have the actual hardware and not the app, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm using.
I have both actually.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you guys familiar with what Stream Deck is?
Which one do you have?
What is it?
You want to or if you have it?
It's a switcher. I can show you from my studio. I just have to walk over there.
Yeah. You can just use it to switch different scenes. If you have like different camera angles and stuff
Cameras.
like that. In Zoom, you can't just choose a specific video scene. You can cycle between the scenes. If you do Command Shift N, it'll kind of like go between some of the different camera angles.
So as you can see, this particular one is my Ableton. I actually literally took screenshots from Ableton to create my own template. And this right over here is one of their default icons there. And what this does is actually switch from one layout to another. So I switch it to my Finder. So now I can launch apps directly from here. And then I switch it again. And these are my, this is my OBS, and they're my actual OBS scenes. So this is like my introduction and so on and so forth. And these are different cameras. And in OBS where it's not connecting, that's why it's doing that. Yeah, so I have some scenes where I have Ableton and split Ableton screen and all that kind of stuff. And I'm able to switch seamlessly between scenes. And this is also because it supports OBS natively, this is the record button for OBS, so I can record my session. And this is the stream button, so then I can stream directly from there as well. Yeah. It's kind of
pretty cool.
Yeah, it really makes. Oh, remember this thing?
Yeah, and I have. Oh, I remember that, and I have the iPhone app version of that. So, which is a lot less expensive and works the same way, So I can just change different scenes here.
Yeah, highly recommended.
Yeah, because with Zoom, I was trying to figure out how to program Zoom to kind of do the same thing. Because, like, I think this will happen. Yeah, I've got different cameras, But there's no way to choose a specific one without cycling through them, because the key command is like Command Shift N to go through all the different videos. So, which is why OBS is so cool, because then you can choose whichever camera angle or like combination of camera angles using Stream Deck.
So you reckon it'd be cool to, have two or more cameras then, just not one, right?
I think having like an overhead one is just two. Just like I'm just using the one on my computer. I mean, I have two other ones, but I don't know, one side and then one above. But I just think one above and your computer one is dope.
Cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think
especially if you're teaching drums, then you can have the snare and you can have
the feet
overhead.
Yeah.
And I think for sound, it would be really cool if you could buy Zoom H5. You know it? Zoom H5, like the recordings, the field recording.
Yeah, the field recorder, yeah.
Cost like $200, I think. and it records really, really good, and you can have it in front. I'm a drummer too, and I did many recording with
And
it.
it does video and audio at the same time, right?
No, it's just
audio
for the sound, yeah. And you can have the audio from that into your sound card.
Okay.
And when you stream, while you're streaming, you can have this, and it sounds really good.
That's
and you can have the like a low cut, and you can reduce the volume, so you're not going straight into, it's like you have some kind of a recording thing that you can like set before it comes into the, yeah.
Wait, so you're saying like if you have a band or I don't know, some group, then you just sum it to a mixer, go into the Zoom. Is that what you're saying? Yeah. I also use the iRig Duo for just the phone. Because if I do Instagram lives, I just can get high quality audio instead of just like the phone audio, which sounds like shit. So this one is really cool. And it's also in that document that I linked you guys to, the live streaming document. But so if you just have a phone and you want to get high quality audio into the phone and stream on Facebook or whatever, then that's one. Also, Roland has one as well. That's kind of cool looking. It's in the document.
Oh, mixer.
Yeah, the Go mixer or something.
Mixer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. And also, Marcelo, I think the cheapest way to multicam is just connect different devices to Zoom. Like I had this week, I was doing a course, so I put 2 cell phones and the MacBook Pro with the camera, so I had 3 cams.
3
and
cams,
okay. And I mean, I can choose what they're seeing, and I also have the remote screen, so I just point out, hey, go for that screen and look at the push, look right there the push, go to the main screen. And, I mean, it's not ideal, but
are you just manually choosing it in the up arrow lower left hand corner, or are you able to choose which screen with a key?
I'm not.
Okay.
I just tell the person to, hey, go to that camera, or go to the screen sharing, whatever. I have no control of what they're seeing. They have to choose themselves.
Oh, how does that happen?
Well, you can just pin the camera you want, right?
Yeah.
In Zoom, you can just say, hey, double click on that camera and goes, I see that one. Pin video.
Oh, they're controlling your screen?
Not my screen. They see one picture from like one cell phone, one from the iPad, and one from the MacBook Pro. And they just can switch the focus where what they're seeing.
Oh, okay.
Is that clear? No?
How can they switch your cameras?
They're just choosing what they're seeing. It's like here in Zoom, I'm seeing like the gallery. So I can see you, I can see Roy, I can see Marcelo.
Yeah.
And I can make each of the small screens full screen. I can just pin the video.
We are users,
not
cameras.
I see what you're saying. You've got them all logged in on Zoom.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
as users.
Me, Pedro, I have 3 Pedros. I have 3 Pedros, the same account, sending videos to Zoom. So far with
that's smart. Oh, that's really smart. That's like a workaround for what I was basically. Yeah.
The poor hack to Zoom. Multicam
as users.
Yes, that's brilliant. Okay.
And it worked. And I sent the audio through Listen to audio movers. So of course there's a latency between video and audio, but they got the good quality audio,
not so much.
And they could see everything I was doing.
Write it down in the document, split your user.
I think this is like the most mind-blowing thing of this whole conversation for me. Out of the space bar.
Yeah, the space bar is cool. Very useful. And now I'm the budget hack guy. So I'm here looking at those cheap China video capture cards, dongles and stuff, and some are really, really cheap, like, I don't know, $25 or something. So I'm seeing what I can get my hands on here in Brazil and test them out. If you guys know any really cheap solutions, please share.
Yeah, me and Pedro are almost neighbors. We live in the same kind of neighborhood. And
Dude, actually, I have to tell you, man, I used to.
So,
oh,
really? You moved?
Yeah, just sharing with you guys. Tuesday, I decided to move back to my hometown. So like
Bahia.
in Salvador, Bahia, just among the whole pandemic thing. So I said, shit, I'm gonna back to my hometown, closer to my family. I don't know how it's gonna be with money, economics, and all that stuff. Yep. So Wednesday, I got a truck. I put all my stuff in, all my studio. I sat down in my studio, put everything in the truck, and Saturday, I put everything back in the new apartment here in Salvador. And whoa, it's been crazy, but I'm happy.
Yeah.
The right place, the best place I can be right now.
Sure thing.
Crazy times, crazy times.
There's this really important things in many countries about budget, especially because the dollar is rocketing up. So anything, you know, to many of our students, they go like, I don't have access to any of that. So it's good to always keep in mind, you know, the hacking into stuff sometimes and making a little adaptations like Pedro just did, you know, have all 3 cameras broadcasting at the same time and just tell people to switch, which is a
make them
solution.
switch. So we don't have to switch. You can
exactly. Yeah, you're the director.
You can see all of them. Or you could just leave the gallery open and you see all cameras and screens.
That's the best. That's amazing.
Everyone is a director.
Yeah, Stream Deck. We don't need Stream Deck. Y'all choose. Just to hang out.
Nice.
The only thing is that you're eating up all your internet band. You know, that's the only.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah. It's true. Oh, what happened to Roy?
I don't know.
Okay. All right. That was weird. So, Federico, thank you for these links because I actually have been hearing a lot of people talk about the Epic Cam or something, and I'm like, what the fuck is this Epic Cam? And now I know.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Pedro, you were actually asking about alternatives to CamLink. I'm curious why.
Yeah, because now I got a DSLR that I want to use for streaming. And so in real, I didn't, but here my dad's a photographer and he has some nice cameras. So I can upgrade my set right now. I just need the video capture card.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, I'm probably gonna try one of those really cheap ones.
Okay, Antonio. Antonio's talking.
Yeah, Antonio's muted.
Thank you. Thanks. I was going to say that it'd be an interesting journey figuring out which camera is compatible that provides a clean HDMI signal. What kind of cameras are they? What brand, if you don't mind me asking?
They're Canon.
Yeah, I think Canon has a good reputation with that. I just, heads up, I used to have Sony cameras, and it was always a pain in the ass connecting the clean HDMI. It was like, just couldn't figure out what day is whether it was gonna work on that day or not.
Shit. Yeah, I got like he has an M50 and a 1GX, so they're like 1GX pretty top. The M50 is pretty new. It's pretty recent technology.
Yeah, it is.
So,
yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna try that out.
Cool.
That's cool. Okay. I mean, I'm looking at this document. Not that many people filled out their information today, so we can't help you if you don't fill out your information. Also, just so you guys know, I added you all to my mailing list. So if you don't want to be on it, you can unsubscribe. That's not why I'm asking for your email addresses though, but I was like, I got everyone's email address now. I'm just gonna like spam them all the time. No. But yeah, just I'm like forward like that. So apologies in advance. You can always unsubscribe. But yeah, those of you that didn't fill out your info, and there's something that you wanted to discuss, or like, or if you just want to unmute yourself and like ask a question, or I don't know. There's no like format for this. It's just like, we're just hanging out.
Is it a different document than last week's?
It's the same one, but I have a tab. I have a different tab on the contact one where it's like, what do you need support with right now? What can you help with right now? Just so everyone kind of knows where everyone's at, and you can kind of just see like what people have experience with, and all that kind of stuff.
It's really sad. It's really sad that you don't have the.
Oh, need support with, yes. Okay.
Everything in the chat, like I was just logged off, and then I logged in, and it's like gone.
I know. Like, you can't pin anything in the chat, Like, I love that about Instagram. Actually, I just figured that out recently. I'm like, oh, I could just pin something here so that anytime someone pops up, they're not asking the same question over and over.
It's weird.
I'm pretty patient. I just don't like repeating myself. So, for no good reason. Zoom, figure it out.
Come on.
I'm kind of curious, like, what you guys are selling. Like, those of you that aren't working, like, at another, like, if you're an entrepreneur or solopreneur or whatever, like, what you're offering in terms of your own platforms. Anyone? Like, you're not working off of someone else's platform or another company's platform. You have your own platform.
Well, I do a little something here and there, but I didn't fill out my form, so I'm not going to say anything.
I mean, you can talk.
I'm just joking. Well, my Audio Outlaw stuff, which is Boots and Cats, my latest drum machine. If you guys are familiar, or if you're not, and you guys are interested in an NFR version, just shoot me an email. I will be glad to oblige. It's I'll send a text with my email. But yeah, Boots and Cats is a drum machine that takes over your push and creates kind of like a hardware sequencer, and it's really cool. Very proud of it. That and Mia, another product called MIDI Input Assistant, which is kind of like a heads-up display for MIDI information. You can just look it up. It's audiooutlaw.com, and anything you want, you guys just let me know.
Sweet.
You are
cool. It's nice.
Thanks.
Thank you. Does anyone else want to shamelessly self-promote something right now, or?
I don't want to self-promote anything, but I just want to say I've just realized I had to leave. So thank you very much for this evening. Morning in some places and whatever. But I hope this will happen again. And I would like to talk to those interested, at least, more about, interesting ways to set up online classes and doing stuff in groups, that sort of thing that I was mentioning in the beginning. That would be nice at some point. But I'm hoping we will have some more of these great get-togethers online. But
awesome. Thanks, David.
Thank you very much for now, and hope to see you again sometime. Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Ciao.
Anyone else want to talk about something that they're selling right now?
Well, if anyone wants live drums recorded, I have a kit set up. You can mic it up to 8 channels, going through UAD Apollo 8P. I can send some stuff to you if you need some live stuff. Just give me the an MP3 or a stereo file and the BPM and what you want. I can send it over to you.
Cool.
Very interesting.
Anything
What's your style specialty?
Pop stuff, some electronic contemporary styles, and Brazilian stuff as well. If you want to add some, other flavors to whatever you're doing, I can send you loops and you can cut and chop them as you wish, as you will.
Sweet.
Okay. I will contact you.
Yes.
You could also make your own sample pack,
I'm building one for a label that got in touch with me via Skill Music. I'm just starting one, and I'm including something like hip hop beats and stuff that, with the instrumentals, they're mainly Brazilian percussion stuff mixed with whatever TRs and other.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
So that kind of thing.
Dope.
Yeah. Go record with Marcelo. He's good.
He's good.
Thank you.
If you want guitars, just call me. Nice rhythm, full of rhythm, Brazilian, Latin guitars. Bring me up. And I've been, the past few years, I've been recording records, doing soundtracks mostly, and I still have some things that I'm working on that I can still finish and get some money. And so I'm gonna finish that, and then I have to dive into some new stuff like recording online, and of course mixing, mastering, vocal tuning, whatever. I can do all that stuff, but I think I'm mostly gonna tune into classes right now, like private online classes. I think that's really good. What's gonna hold on for the next months, I guess.
Yeah. So are these your own classes, or is this through another organization?
No.
Just your
Just my own. I'm getting started actually.
Is it all live, or are you pre-recording stuff, or how are you doing it?
I'm doing both ways. I have been pre-recording some videos and also doing some one-on-one lessons. But the online thing, it's pretty new to me. So I'm trying to catch up with all you guys and learn all its tricks and resources.
I did
for that.
Yeah, I did a master class the other day on.
I watched it. Yeah.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
I watched the replay. The replay.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. Cool. I was gonna send it to you. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some really good stuff in there.
Okay. Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah, I just have the link open.
Thank you.
As soon as we finish here, I'm gonna.
Oh, cool.
I'm gonna have a look at it.
Yeah. Cool. Anyone else want to talk about something that they're... Ben, what's up, Ben?
Where are you?
Ben's he's lurking in the background. It's super late where you are, right?
It's okay. I'm not the only one. Shafiq is here also. I see Shafiq.
I know.
Hello, guys. I think I've not been speaking from
This
an hour ago.
He's talked.
Singaporeans represent. It's 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Yes, 2 a.m. in the morning. Both me and Ben is from Singapore.
Respect.
To be honest, I'm ready to go to bed with my pajamas, and I'm feel left out when you guys are like live. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put my shirt on, laptop on, and jump into this.
Yeah.
So Shafiq,
I still have my pajamas on from the night before, so no, I'm just
But the danger of coming into Laura's masterminds and master classes is that we finish at like 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. and then our minds are buzzing. We can't sleep because we got so many ideas.
Exactly.
Aww.
Which is a good thing. It's a good thing.
Thank you, Ben.
I'm mentally prepared for that.
Ben and I have done a lot of these Zoom calls because he did my transmute course, and he's been showing up to like all my master classes in the last couple of weeks. I'm like, it's like 4 a.m. I appreciate that though. That's awesome.
I think
No,
the best
I
thing
appreciate
in
what you're
this
doing.
best thing in this situation now is that we all got a lot of time now, which is it's great. We have time.
I know that's why.
Before that, it was all about stress and about I have to be there, I have to be here, there is something live, and I have a session, and I have this, and I have recording, and now it's just whoosh, everything is gone, and you have all the time in the world, literally all the time in the world, and no one is in a hurry, nobody. And we all have time, and I think time is like priceless. You know, this is
Yep.
the most valuable thing we have.
And
we
there's
just
also
got
something that I'm really cherishing about this is that because of exactly what you said, we were lacking time. Now we get to meet each other, albeit online, but we would never, that wouldn't have happened, 2-3 weeks ago.
No.
So
You
there you go.
also have time to process stuff. If you read things, if you're talking to people, and you have time to like think about it. You're not like straight to another thing that you're doing, and then you're like, okay, I remember that I did this and that, but now you can really think about it. You can really like digest this explosion of information that we all the time absorb. And that's was. And I think this is a really, really nice thing. If you ignore all the rest, this is like a huge present that we got, especially people like us who like to teach and like also to absorb information and to learn.
Yeah.
It's really like this is really, really great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Personally, I want my stress and my hustle and bustle back. I'd rather have that than be sitting here wondering if I'm going to get sick and die. So
don't think that.
Sorry, was that a negative?
No, but don't. Just take this time that you now got and do something huge with it. It's because time.
One real example was Ruben, who's in KL, Malaysia. He's about a 6-hour drive from me. And we've been like talking about, we should do something together. We've been talking about it for like 3 years. And then finally, we had to figure out our stuff and get on a Zoom together. And so we managed to do a Zoom towards a Facebook Live. So we actually did a simulated like lesson where I was controlling his live session from Singapore and he was in KL. And he was editing the stuff, so that was awesome. But it took something like this to get us to get off our butts and actually get onto Zoom together and collab together and then put it on Facebook Live.
Yeah. Oh. You done talking? Okay. Yeah, Ruben is hilarious, and I think everyone's right. I mean, this is just a great time for us all to come together and like, share our knowledge and, share our unique gifts with the world. Yep. I mean, for me, like some of you guys were here last week, so but like, I have a company and like we do concert tours, right? So I've got a whole staff that we're supposed to be touring right now and doing shows, and I'm supposed to be doing American Idol right now, and basically all of that just like went away, and I just bought like this whole new rig for Idol, which is like a $20,000 Maddie, redundant Maddie rig, because I was supposed to get the income back because I was renting it to American Idol. So now I'm just like sitting here in my house with this like sweet rig that's super expensive.
Wow.
Got this expensive. Yeah. I'm just like, but it's fine. I'm just like, okay, it is what it is, but it's giving me a lot of time to think, about what I want to do. And I mean, I think it's just giving us a lot of time to like pause and just, you know, reflect on what we want our next moves to be. And so,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
Does anyone else want to talk about something that they're selling or something they could help with? Or Ben, how are your courses coming on along? Ben, are you making your courses?
Yeah, so I think today's thing with that I did with Ruben was really our kind of like acid test of how we were going to be able to do the Zoom lessons. And so if anybody wants any help with getting the Zoom lessons with students set up, Ruben, well, if you can contact either Ruben or me, because we we went through some kind of experience today for a couple of hours trying to get it done, and we managed to do it.
What do you mean?
So,
What do you mean Zoom for students? Exactly.
so so basically what we did was that I was controlling Ruben's computer from where I was. So he was like saying, "Hey Ben, I'm gonna lay down some beats and some bass lines." Then I said, "Ruben, why don't we try automating the filter?" Then I take over his computer and then I draw in the automation on his project.
Right.
And he said, "Hey, that's a great idea." Then he takes back control and he says, "Why don't I move this over here?" I said, "Okay, but why don't you drop in something else?" Then I take over his computer and I start opening up his the different packs he's got. So it looks like we're both in the same room, even though we're about a couple 100 kilometers apart.
So you're collaborating, just going back and forth and controlling each other's, or controlling one session, basically.
Yeah, that's right. So I don't know. I think for some people, that they might be already doing that all the time, but that was the first time we've actually successfully done it together. And because we recorded it, we're going to use it as kind of like also our marketing tool to show students that, hey, you're not going to lose out anything in the experience. You're going to have us like literally by your side, showing you what to do, as if we were right next to you, because we're going to actually, you can touch our computer, we can touch your computer. Yeah.
That's cool. I think we were talking about this before you got on, but just, you know, I think it was David, just like be careful about like grabbing the knob because it might go crazy if you grab it a little too fast when you're controlling someone else's screen. Do you guys have that problem, Ben, or is it pretty?
Yeah, because there was some fun because I'm on a Windows machine and he's on a Mac. So some of the gestures we had to, whoop, okay, let's not try and do that. But it was useful for us to practice that with one another before we like inflict it on students.
Yeah, that's cool.
Inflicted, huh?
Anyone else want to share anything or offer service or say something else? Or
I'm not going to offer anything. I just want to say that as long as this thing will take, the longer that it will take, there are going to be many more people, or especially young people, that will get bored and very, very bored. And then we, as people that bring something really cool, which is in the form of music production, going to come into place. They're going to look for us, and we need to be ready for them. Because I think this thing is going to take like, sure, like a month or two, or even more. And all of those people who never thought about learning how to do music, but they are all online, and they are all in the computerized domain. Let's say they're going to be looking for us. So I think if we're prepared, it's like they doing an experiment with Zoom. So we need to know our shit now. So when they will come, we're going to be ready for them.
Yeah, and they're going to have the stimulus money to just,
Many of them have, because they're not going out. I mean the young ones. This is why I said the young ones, like let's say 10 years old until 18, who still lives with their parents.
Yeah.
And they're like sitting on the Xbox all day or PlayStation or whatever shit, and they're like really want to do something, but they cannot go out, and they're really bored. And the only thing that they hear a lot of music, and this is time this is why I was really happy that they made the trial for 3 months, because people will look for some creative way to do something useful with their time.
Yeah.
And there's nothing better in the world than to make art when you have the time, so you have the time. And they have money, Laura. They're not spending it. They're not going out and buying clothes and going to parties.
So we if you guys, well, I personally don't want to teach kids, but if you do, then you should market to the parents that are, because I saw some infographic, and it's like on the left, it's like people without kids. I'm gonna learn a new language. I'm gonna do yoga every day. I'm gonna do this. People with kids, it's like I'm gonna try to you take a shower, or just
stay sane, stay sane.
So if you say hey, I'll take your kids off your hands.
Totally.
Over here.
On Zoom,
whatever. And then the parents have the money. So there you go.
I'm a part of I'm a part of an initiative in Germany, in Berlin, that we go to schools with iPads. And it's something which is founded by the government, and we go we have 5 iPads. I have mine from my school, so it's like 10, and we go to group of 9 years old kids, and we go there every week, and we do 1.5 hour session with them, and they're 9 years old, 10 years old, and a lot of them is with link and with jamming and with sampling and a lot of cool things. And and now they're looking for a way, because we cannot go to schools and we cannot do it anymore. So they're looking for a way, this initiative, looking for a way to do it online. So I'm telling you, there are many kids. I mean, 12 is kids, but I would say 16, 18. This is not kids. They understand what you're saying, and they're all bored. They will get even border, and even it will get serious now.
Yeah, and then in a year they'll be better producers than we are.
For sure.
They'll be taking over the market. You'll be working for them.
There's gonna be so much music now. I know
that is for sure.
More flooded with music.
Fucking millennials, no, they're not millennials now. They're, what is it, Gen Z?
Gen Z or C or no, C for Corona. If you're now. That was a thing, actually, that if you were born after the coronavirus, then you're Generation C.
Oh, yeah.
Someone told me that, yeah.
Yeah.
Did someone already come up with that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's official yet, but
it's not official. I don't know.
That'd be pretty dark, though.
It'd be a little bit, yeah. Especially the 19-year-olds. Never mind.
Yeah.
When they become 19 is what I meant.
Yeah.
I'm getting delirious. I'm hungry.
I do have to. I'm also getting hungry, and I do have to go soon. But just at kind of opposite of that, I'm trying to reach high end. Well, okay, so I've got a couple of different offerings, right? So my transmute course, which Ben took, is launching again in May, and it's 2 months. It's live performance, A to Z. You have to have some skills coming into it. You can't be a beginner, but takes you A to Z of designing and building your live performance, and we've got performances online and throughout, and then there's a lot of content in it, a ton of content from everything that I've learned over the years of working in live show world stuff. So there's that. but I was like I've been trying to figure out how to reach, higher end artists, right? That have more income, more funds, because this time, everyone's sitting around, artists are sitting around too, and some artists, that might want to develop their live performance in this time would be interested in my program. And I've had a range of levels and different people, from famous film composers to people that are kind of more just starting out. So I've just been trying to figure out, like, especially in this time, my market's not going to be, individuals that don't have the funds to invest in it right now, even though I'm offering payment plans and, I like doing deals and all that kind of stuff. But so I've just been talking with like different people about like how to reach, that kind of a market. So that's, if you guys have any insights there, one thing that I'm thinking about doing is just like going on LinkedIn and finding like managers and agents of artists and connecting with them, and then, telling them about the program, because those are the kinds of people that want to see their artists succeed, and do something new, especially right now in a time where innovation is king or queen. So anyway, that's kind of what I'm working on right now. Do you guys have any thoughts on that?
There used to be a directory, used to be a book that was this thick, but it's probably online now. There was a music business directory, and they used to have like tour contacts, from tour contacts to buses to managers to that was mainly in England. I don't know how that was in the US, but there was a huge directory about it. The other way you could try is from your contacts on people in American Idol. They might have contacts to management. Also, if you have any links with people in Live Nation and all the agencies, you might try that as well.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, Live Nation is a good one. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
All sorts of agencies, to be honest.
Agencies. Yeah. Right. That's a good idea.
It seems like the kind of thing that with your contacts that you get better reception,
personally
reaching. That's the kind of thing that people don't pay attention unless they know that there's a recommendation that you're solid, and obviously you are.
I know. And that's the thing, like, because I don't want to just like blow a bunch of money on ads this time around, because, and I've done that in the past, and some of them work and some of them don't, but right now, like, people are just craving, that personal connection and that personal touch, and so I think it's really going to just come down to me like emailing a bunch of people, which I've been reticent to do because email is already just crazy, and so I just hate emailing. But I'm just gonna have to do it, just gonna have to do it, or go on LinkedIn, I guess, and do that. But yeah, I'm gonna look for that music business directory or whatever that is, or just like things like that. That's kind of like a good.
One thing that I had learned about LinkedIn, just through my wife who's a professional, and is to always introduce yourself to a new contact with some sort of a correspondence, some sort of, like, just don't friend people, like, on that level. But I guess that,
because they won't accept. I don't really accept people unless they look interesting or say something to me,
Right, that resonates, because otherwise it's spam. And even, there's a lot of bullshit, so.
Who are you thinking you can connect with me?
There's that. You are living in La La Land.
Yeah, I accept a lot of people, but yeah. Okay, well that was my main thing. And then I guess my other thing is that I'm launching my creative business course next week, and it's for creatives who want to learn how to launch their business online.
I want that.
Huh? Oh, okay.
I want that.
We could talk. Yeah, we could talk. Cool. So I've been doing a lot of these like master classes and webinars and stuff, and I'm pricing that one like, you know, what I think is affordable, because I just want to, honestly, I just want to help people right now. Like the main thing, you know, I really want all these people that are coming to me like, how do I like build my thing, you know, because I'm like answering the same questions over and over, you know. And so I decided, okay, I'm going to build this course and do it like week by week, and it's, you know, a month long, live and all the things. But yeah, I mean, it's just like a whole new kind of lane for me that I've never done before, because I've mostly just focused on Ableton and music production and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm just curious like what you guys think about like marketing something like that. You got something?
I'm also interested in live shows.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I already do it, and I use a bunch of techniques, but I'd love to learn more, especially from you.
Cool. Yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome.
And there's not a lot of people doing that in Brazil at the moment.
Yeah, I don't really know of anyone that has a course quite like what I'm doing. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there is, and I just don't know about it. But yeah. So the business one, it's just going to be like a completely, you know, new direction and new lane for me. But I just felt like, especially right now, you know, people need help with their business, and
yep.
I've invested way too much money in coaching. I mean, like literally the past couple of years, Antonio knows and Ben knows too, but like, yeah, I mean, I've invested so much in coaching and consulting to like help me build all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, now I know all this shit. I should just put it in a course and make it accessible for people so they don't have to spend. I mean, I don't even want to say how much. It was like all worth it. It was all worth it, but it was like for me to just try to figure out what my things are, you know, like how to offer these things. And, you know, in hindsight, it's easier when you're employed or working with an organization or a school, because they just do all the promo for you, and you don't have to do all the hustling and the marketing and the ads and the sales and the da-da-da. But on the other hand, it's like super rewarding to just own all of it. And, you know, so I guess it's like depends, you know, it depends on what type of people are. Some people don't want to like put in the work and hustle and put it all together, and that's cool too. Sometimes I think I'm insane.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so that's me.
Sorry, I don't want to interrupt, but I have to go. So
yeah. Okay.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Take it easy.
Bye.
See you, Roy.
Wow.
Stay safe.
Ciao.
Bye.
Yeah.
Ciao.
Bye.
Stay safe in Italy.
Yeah, I was actually gonna ask him like how it is there.
Yeah.
Do you want to know?
Do tell us,
Back.
please.
Yeah.
Well,
He's back.
I was just quitting and I was listening, but we are at home, and that's it.
Where exactly? Where exactly in Italy? Where?
I'm from Verona, in the north.
Verona? Okay.
Yeah, in the north.
Is it as
of Italy.
bad as the American news says that it is?
Actually, well, I don't know what's on the news in America, but it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad for those who are in red zones and in hospital, of course. But I think from yesterday we are getting better. We have less people that are getting the virus, so we've been in lockdown for 2 weeks now in the whole country, and now I think it's starting to getting better.
Good.
So
That's what I read this morning, that there were like 95 people that have been cured. Is that true?
I think there are a few people getting the virus. So for example, the hospitals are getting better because we run out of space in the hospitals. But now I think the things are going a little bit better, but we still have to wait. And the government just said that we were supposed to go back to work on the 3rd of April, and they just said, no, we are staying at home for more, but we don't know for how long. So yeah, but it's getting better, and we've been really in lockdown for 2 weeks now. So yeah.
Can you go out? Can you go out to buy food?
Yeah, but just for that. And for example, you cannot go with another person, so you have to go alone. And probably the police will stop you and ask you what you are doing outside. So
What about just walking around?
That's the problem, you know.
Sorry?
Huh?
No, that's fine. What about exercising, just walking around? Can you do that or no?
No, you cannot. I see people that they have like a small space outside. They are like circling in their space. It's
like
crazy.
In prison. Like in
yeah,
prison,
like in prison. Yeah.
Oh man.
I got my neighbors that are like doing jogging in at home. So yeah.
Wow.
But what's really, really funny, you know, if everyone's allowed like to buy food, and it's really funny because everyone is like meeting in the supermarket. So if someone is sick, you know, that's what I feel when I go shopping. I'm like,
but I went to do grocery shopping like 2 days ago, and they will take your temperature inside. So if you have
when
fever,
you go inside.
Yeah, so if you have fever, you cannot do in grocery shop.
Wow.
And you have to wear masks and gloves.
Yeah, okay.
So you cannot go inside the and you go in the supermarket like 10 at a time, so you have to wait a lot outside.
Oh, no, okay, I understand. Yeah, because in Germany they're like really like, I don't know, they don't really care or something because it's really full with people. When you go shopping, it's full with people.
No. Here I try to go like in like I don't know how to say, but like in midday. So hopefully there are few people there, but I usually wait an hour before entering the grocery shop in line.
Wow,
interesting.
Wow.
Huh. Well, thank you for this.
But I think
Brazil. I'm sorry.
Where I am here in Rio, it's people have been respecting the quarantine quite a lot.
So, you do feel that? You do feel that?
Yeah. And the borough here is pretty lo-fi, but there's a plethora of people that can't afford to not work, and they have, you know, lots of people in the trains and buses, and you know, it's still happening, and that's where I think this all can go down the pipe actually.
I just read half an hour ago that they it's official that this thing is not going through the air.
Oh,
really?
Good.
Which is quite nice, because I was all the time
like,
the
best news I've heard
going in the street, like shopping. And then like,
right, just read it.
Right.
I really have to go. See you soon. Bye, guys.
Okay.
All right,
Bye.
Good to meet you.
Oh my God, that's
gave him nice news, and he's like
fucking great news.
Like gone. Yeah, it's official from the health
CDC,
World Health thing. Yeah.
So
it's not going by air. It's not air. It's just it's like a small drop in your thing, and if it's heavier than air, so it just goes down, and it will never. It will not stay in the room just like that, which is great. The only shit is that
Wow.
it's going on things and it stays like on metals for, I think,
In cardboard.
days.
So if you're
Like
using gloves,
days.
it helps a lot.
It helps a lot. And me, like it was the second time that I do grocery shopping, and I just take everything out of the bags. I don't know if you guys doing it, but I'm just taking everything out of the bags, putting in. I feel so funny when I'm doing that, but I guess we all have to. But it's really weird
Yeah.
that you buying stuff from the grocery shop, and you're bringing it home, and you put it in your closet,
Yeah.
and then like bringing the shit home, right? So
Yep.
I mean,
I use the
There's something
Lysol,
that,
the wipes for everything.
you have to,
Take it out of the bag and
yeah.
and wipe it clean, disinfect everything.
It's so weird. It's so
For 3 days. I just leave it for 3 days, and then if I
really, that's nice.
well,
I
if
didn't
you
hear about that.
put it in the fridge, you know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's still in your home though, or do you leave it in the
Like a
garage or something?
quarantine area. I don't know.
You have a
Working
quarantine area.
okay.
decontamination room.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like a crazy person though. I'm like, just
Me
like,
too. Me too. We all are. We all are.
Yeah,
We're all
we're
in the
all
same
losing.
boat. We're all on the same boat. But
We're all
Marcelo,
losing the biscuit.
I'm really
Yeah.
not as optimistic as you are, man. I'm sorry about Rio and about São Paulo.
Rio? Really?
Yeah, I think from the last days from this week, I was still there. I was seeing way too much people on the streets.
Right.
And
Okay.
when you go to the suburbs, people are doing
Yeah.
barbecues and drinking beer on the streets. And it's happening here in Salvador as well. Like everywhere where people has a bit less information, they're a bit less aware of what's going on. And on top of that, we have our president that's saying that we have to go back to work. And have all the medical entities say, shit, no, just take care of yourself, it's not the time. And the president, almost alone by himself, is saying to everyone to go back to work. So I'm really concerned because we have no infrastructure to take care of everyone. Like in Rio, there are so many places that people don't have running water.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the biggest problem.
And I mean, it's going to be chaotic. I don't see any other way.
Is it true that your president or prime minister Bolsonaro, did I say his name properly? I don't know.
Yeah.
Said that Brazilians are immune to the virus naturally.
Yeah, it wasn't quite that. He said we're making too much of a fuss because people here are used to because sometimes people go to rivers or the ocean. Sometimes it's quite polluted and they dive in anyway. So he said people swim in shit, so do not get the virus. We'll survive the virus. So basically, what he's saying is
that he said he said something right. That he said that it's that there is a lot of moist in Brazil, and this is true. That this thing cannot last in moist.
Yeah, apparently because of not only because of the moist, but they don't have it quite 100% yet. But apparently, the thing doesn't survive in temperatures about 27 Celsius or something like that.
Okay.
But who's gonna risk it?
Yeah, everything's so new, everything's so uncertain. We're still researching it, so no one can argue. Oh, it's not gonna live if it's too hot. It's impossible.
Yeah, we don't know.
We gotta take care of ourselves.
You know that in
well,
Sweden,
if it's true, I'm going to be going to Brazil.
In Sweden, all the schools and everything is open. You know that in Sweden, everything is just normal.
Yeah, I just read it.
Wait, where?
Sweden.
Oh yeah, they're doing the herd mentality thing, right?
They're like chilled, they're like going to schools, playing around, and you don't even hear that people are sick or I think that they just don't report.
But at the same time, there are not so many Swedish people, right? Like the demographics are really low, so that's a big factor as well.
Not like probably. In Brazil, it's not like
like
a small country.
In Brazil,
but in China, it was in China at the beginning, because my brother lives in Shanghai. He just came back now in Germany, and he said that now he looks at Europe, at Germany as 24 in January in China. That people are really, really chilled, and he just heard that it happened in one city, and people still went to shopping and everything, and then it was like booming. So this is how I think it's going to happen here, for example, in Germany, because they're really chill. They don't have so many dead people, but they have a lot of sick people, like 30,000 and even more.
Yeah, people have been also talking about this sort of a vertical quarantine where you quarantine the elder and you let the youngs out, kind
Man,
of
they're
thing.
all out. They're all out here. I see only old people in the streets. They're all out, going bicycle, going shopping. I'm afraid to go out, and I have like a bakery right in front of here. The only people who buy their bread, which is in the open, are old people. Like,
You know
Yeah,
that
they're
I
the
need
most
my bread in the
vulnerable.
morning.
yeah, we don't have any lockdown in Singapore, for your info. Even though last few months we are the first or the second one in the chart, but school is still happening, and some businesses or big companies, they are practicing like work from home and split teams. People still exercising, hanging out, shopping.
But do they go with masks in the street or not?
To be honest, 40% on mask, 60% no.
Weird. Okay.
Yeah. I'm not sure. Maybe we are really small. Singapore is really small, and they can control. I'm not being complacent. I'm not sure, but maybe they can control the situation. Everyone can take the buses and public transports as per normal. For your info, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't get a mask. I mean, I don't know. I bought some bandanas, but like I can't get a mask.
Yeah, I can't get masks. Yeah, it's the bandanas, just like you. I look like a bandito, you know, from a scar.
Yeah, I look like the...
It's pink. I mean, so at least it's like a friendly color, you know? The weird thing though is like when you go to the grocery store with a mask on, like you just can't tell if anyone's smiling or not, you know? It's like everyone's like menacing as fuck, you know? You're like, ah!
Oh
well. Well, maybe we should wrap it up since we're like, I think we're derailed.
It was really nice though. We should do it once in a while. It's nice.
Yeah, I mean,
nice to see you all, yeah.
I'm planning on sending out another survey. I think this time is good for a lot of people, you know, just because, I mean, it's 9 a.m. Well, now it's not. It's 9 a.m. for me, but you know, you guys.
Not for
9 a.m. You're an early
Like,
waker. Wow.
Yeah, you and Ben are like, yeah, no, it's super late.
Yep.
It's very impressive.
But I'll send another poll, you know, and we'll just keep doing it, because I just feel like I always learn a lot, and I just love nerding out about this stuff, and I have the time, so here we are.
Thanks so much for doing this. Really,
thank you, Laura.
It's a positive thing.
Thank you, Laura.
You know, it's really just like, yeah, I love the community, and I haven't actually been as involved, you know, in the past few years, so it feels cool to like connect with you guys and yeah, share the knowledge and learn stuff, and yeah.
I mean, it's not American Idol, but it'll do.
I mean, honestly, I'd rather be doing this than doing American Idol. That's stress. I don't need stress, you know. This is
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. We all got chilled with just everything.
Yeah.
Just
relax. I've had enough stress, you know, like all that is like the most stress, you know, because it's like live with 50,000 people, you know. Whereas this is like live with like 10 people.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And no one's like pressuring me to like make an edit right before the show, you know.
Wow, I can imagine that.
Yeah.
Laura, you know the Joe Rogan?
Rogan?
Yeah, his podcast.
Yeah.
You know it for sure, right? The one in YouTube. So my wife had an idea that I should, or I mean, one of us should do something like that, that we just talk, like people with knowledge just talk and stream it. Just the talk. It doesn't have to be, it can be many people, but if we stream this live, and everyone bringing like nice content, this could be something which is really, really, really interesting for people who doesn't want to take part in the conversation, but rather just hear it. If you're saying because the cool thing about him that he's bringing interesting people, and it can be about science, it can be about technology, it can be about, and this could be a really, really cool idea that we just stream what we do now, and and then we can attract, and then we can put like links to our websites and tell people, hey, this is us, and then we can just.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting. Can you put the
link
of?
And I'd have to brush my hair.
Your document. In your document.
I'd have to brush my hair.
Why not? Do it. It should look cool though. Yeah, it should be looking cool. We should have like synths here inside, and it can be just nice. Just bringing something nice content.
I like that idea. Do you guys want to try that for the next one?
Yeah,
sure, why not?
Try, yeah.
I'm down on it.
So, I guess if we do it, Safik is like, not at this time next week.
Not 4 o'clock.
If we do
it, I need to change. I will change my sleeping cycle just for this.
It needs to be. It needs to be that we all stay in the chat. That we're not like going in, coming in, going in.
Yeah.
If you say that you're doing it, you're doing it.
None of these half in, half out motherfuckers. So we gotta get everyone that's committed.
And no mute and unmute. It should be all the time on, so you can people can hear you like this.
Okay, so we'll have rules. You have to show your face.
It should look nice.
Done.
You have to.
Call my hair though.
You can't. You have to.
Antonio as well.
You have to be in the entire time.
Yeah.
Unmute. You have to unmute.
Yeah, I mean you can mute yourself if you're not talking, and we
preparing like subject and yeah.
We should have an agenda though.
So it can be general subjects or what? Just music subjects.
Something which you're really, really good at. Like she asked stuff that you do good, and then you tell about the drums, and I can tell about you can, but it still need to look and sound like a conversation, not like an.
Yeah, I'm good at like moderating, so I'll just continue.
Telling you, it's a really, really nice thing, and people really want to hear like a nice, interesting conversation which they can learn from, and
And then we can try to seep into their consciousness that they need to work with us.
No, we just give them links. If you want to know more about this guy or that guy or this guy or that guy, just go to this link.
So, are you looking to make it public then? This
yes,
this thing.
We can you know what, we could do it about, I mean, obviously the original premise for this talk was about live streaming, right? Because we were like, oh, I want to know about live streaming, and so then I was like, well, I'm going to organize this Zoom call so we could talk about live streaming. And then after we talked about live streaming last week, I was like, okay, that was fun. Let's just make it like a mastermind where we're all just coming together and talking about
Mastermind is a nice name of a thing. Mastermind.
Well, that's what this is. That's what this is.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what it is.
Seriously, if everyone comes with a topic, that they want to talk about, and then we could use Restream and stream it to Facebook. The only thing is though, you know what? We should stream it to YouTube, because then everyone.
That's what I'm. Yeah. The thing is, we shouldn't stress it in the conversation, like saying, "I wanted to talk about blah 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 blah."
No.
But it should be just like like if you have a nice story about something crazy that because people really like to peep, and if they're like hearing like a private conversation, just to relax but still learn something from it, it's really cool. So you can say about something which happened to you while in a live concert, and you were working on this and that, and something happened and you didn't know about it, and and people just want to hear what happened to you, and they really want to learn on the way.
Yeah.
And the benefit here that we're 6 people. I mean, if more people will come, it's also cool. But we're 6 people, so we have 6 worlds here in this.
From all over the world.
Yeah,
Totally,
six
and
countries.
staff it into 2 hours of talk, just relax talk, and you can drink coffee while you're talking, and people just want to hear it and see it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Thank my wife.
There you go.
Sarah,
Thank you, Rai's wife.
Yeah.
I'll tell her. I'll tell her. It's a brilliant idea. It's really cool.
Great.
We just need. I think Laura. I don't know how many followers you have, but if you have followers and you're streaming it,
Yeah. I could do it, and then we could just share. Share
and it can be a show. It can be a show, so it needs to have a name, and you could like the Mastermind, and it's every, I don't know, Monday in blah blah blah, and people can download it, and we can even have it as a podcast, so people can just listen to it afterwards, and we can take the audio, and that's all. Because I think it will be really, really cool.
Yeah. I dig it.
Oh,
The only thing is like.
okay, so I just want to, excuse me, I feel like this is going to go on the whole afternoon and I got to go now. So I just wanted to give my exit. Wait, what did you just say?
Well,
right.
fine. No, I have to go too because I really have to go to the bathroom.
Guys, think about it. It's a brilliant idea. I throw it
Cool.
in the table. Take it. Do something with it. I'm down on it. It sounds great.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Do it. Really.
My only thing with
Nice.
that, I prefer the weekends just because, I don't know, just for me, because the week I actually have like back-to-back Zoom calls with people all the time. And this is kind of more relaxed for me because we've been chatting for almost 3 hours.
Yeah. It didn't feel like 3, right?
No.
Oh,
So that's the cool part. So, okay. Well, let's do it.
let's cook it. Let's cook it in our minds.
Yeah, we
Okay.
should consider bathroom breaks though.
Well, I did actually take one where I just turned my video off. You can always just turn your video off and turn your sound off.
Yeah.
I get paranoid, like, did I turn my sound off?
Put like a picture. Yeah, put like a picture. But it should be very fast, like a quickie, and you're back. Or you put like a,
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Well, I'll do the doodle poll, and we'll
Yeah.
see. We got to make sure that everyone here, though, because this is the group, right?
yeah.
Because
It's
we
the
all know
core.
what
Yeah.
we're talking about. This is like we're the lifers,
We can even do like gags that we're playing something, like say, hey, I just learned this and that, and then boom, and then it's like a musical content in there.
Yeah, or we're like
like
show how like Ben was saying, like he and Ruben are controlling each other's shit, like right, like control Ruben's shit, right? Okay, I'm just getting silly now because I'm
Okay.
Okay, all
thing
right.
is,
We're
need
losing
just
it.
the last thing we just need the credibility in order to have interests from people. We should think about if we're gonna do it as CTs, maybe.
Yeah, it's a bunch of CTs together talking about stuff.
Ableton CTs talking about music production, and
That's a
about
great
life,
idea.
you know?
Name
I'm
CT's.
full with it. I'm
That's
telling you
it right
guys,
there.
what are we doing here?
Yeah, I have a
Write
question.
it
I have
down
a question.
in your document, Laura. Please note it down.
Are we gonna
Where's you
open up?
guys?
Talking about shit. That's the name of it.
That's all you need. That's all you need. And sometimes we're gonna have Dennis. Maybe we're gonna like take Dennis and have him for
CT's talking shit. Yo.
Totally. I'm telling you that. I'm down. Cool. Cook
Everyone
it.
have a
Cook it in
nice
your head.
day.
Stay safe.
Nice.
Stay safe. Stay healthy. Put your mask on. And take your bread. Put it in
Take it
the
easy, everyone.
extra nylon.
Thanks,
See you
Laura,
guys.
once more. See you
Thank
guys.
you, everyone.
See you guys later.
Nice meeting you guys.
See ya.